Hello, gardeners of the internet, based on our previous episode. I'm Jamie. Let's hang out and watch some more Fern. So, have some more thoughts after editing. I was originally suspicious, as I had said, due to a lot of shows that I've watched having wholesome elements, and then bam, something evil or suspicious happens. But now I'm trying to look at the show through a lot more of a wholesome lens. That way when I see Hider, I see that Hider wanted Fern to decipher things for a few reasons. So not that Hider was afraid of dying like he had actually said, but one, so that Fern could actually help teach Fern to a point where she wouldn't be a hindrance anymore, as he had said, and can go along on Fern's journey. Thus, he knew Fern would have someone looking after her, which is great. But also, two, because Fern is now learning to appreciate humans after Himmel's death, and so this gave her more time with Hider. Somebody please tell me how to pronounce that. But she got to spend more time with him as well, which I think is a gift in itself. Plus, he stopped drinking. I'm assuming that was once he and Fern had met. He stopped drinking so that way that he could prolong how long he was actually going to be able to look after her for. I also like how Fern told Hider to make time and memories with Fern in the last little section of that particular episode, because that's what's important in life. And when we're so focused on ourselves and our pursuits and goals and hidden agendas or whatever it is, we lose out on that time. And so it's really important to make that time. And Fern and Fern, they're so used to kind of doing their pursuits, especially Fern, at least from what I've seen, is like, she was like, I really got to do this because she had that deadline with Hider. So she didn't even get a lot of time with him because she wanted to honor him. So that's the first kind of chunk of thoughts there. And then with Hider saying that Ewig, hopefully I pronounced that right, would have most likely used the spell on himself. This is more just a personal thought, not so much on the show, but I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it depends on who you are or what you've experienced. Personally, I don't think that I'd want to live forever, but I definitely know some people that would. And my little caveat with people that talk about immortality, unless it's like you literally can't die, I still don't think it'd be the worst thing ever to have or to be immortal or to get those sorts of powers to make you immortal, because you can just, yourself, or if you're facing a villain and you're like, okay, well, I'm ready now. So that's kind of my thoughts there, is like, it doesn't have to be immortal, right? Question for you: would you choose to prolong your life or become immortal, and why? Curious. Third thought on the episode. So I think it was sweet that Fern was learning magic for Hider. I'm gonna keep changing it until I know, to prove to him that she could be self-sufficient and wouldn't need him to worry about her after he died, and honor his decision to save her life, even though I don't think he cared about all that. It's more just, I want to save her life. But I get where she was coming from too. But this is why Fern was saying how they're the same, because Fern only kind of loves magic or learning about it. Kind of misphrasing what she was saying there, if that's even a word. Not sure specifically why that is, but from what we've been seeing so far, she's learning a lot for the people around her. Whether that's to make them happy, to care for them in some way. But with Fern learning for Hider, not so much for herself, rather than, that's why she only kind of likes it, because she's learning not for internal motivation or worth, but for him. The part about memories of those we care about vanishing if we vanish has come up in a few shows that I've watched, one being In the Background, and it's a touching thing. we live on and try to honor them in various ways because that's what keeps them alive. And then the fifth point is that Himmel had such an impact on people in his life, but also after his passing, and I really love that, and a lot of the comments are kind of talking about that. And somebody told me a really cool comment about how people in real life have done something either heroic or just kind, and they said, you know, that's what Himmel would do, like they said in the episode. So I really, really love that. And then the last point is that I'd been a little bit confused about the mismatched energy between Frieren and Fern at first, which I think I brought up. But when Frieren finally understood Fern's motivation for doing what she wanted to do and for working so hard and all that kind of stuff, I think it allowed Frieren to allow Fern to do what she needed, if that makes sense. At the very end of the last episode, I said I was going to do a little bit of a breakdown of the lyrics. I don't know if that would be too much, so I might just make that a separate thing. And I think somebody had actually posted maybe something, a link about breaking down the first song, so I actually might do a little reaction to that video along with the lyrics, unless that's in there, and make that a separate video, just because I don't want this to go on too long. Plus it might be nice for people to just check out something that's a little bit more isolated. I will make a note to do that. I'm also going to add a little section before I start the reactions. Again, feel free to skip. I put chapters in the YouTube video on the bar, but just a little bit of a section where I talk about what's going on in my life and how I'm doing, in case you happen to be curious or care. So yeah, so actually earlier today, I had an attack of whatever the heck is going on with me. I think there's like 3 different things. So this was like one of the other things. So I was actually going to film like, I don't know, 6 or more plus hours earlier, but I've been in bed for the last little bit, but I finally actually have energy and I've been really wanting to watch the show. Otherwise, I had an endoscopy. Hopefully I pronounced that right, earlier this week, and everything came back normal. So they're going to be moving forward with removing my gallbladder. I'm a little bit nervous for that, but because of how long I've been dealing with my issues for, I'm also just like really excited and just like, let's get it over with. The problem is my symptoms are very atypical, so it's like there's a possibility this won't help, and it's not actually that, but from what we can tell, it's pretty much most likely that. And so I'm just like, you know what? Let's give it a go based on evidence. So yeah, just a little bit of an update where maybe I'm going to have a little bit of a break between posting, but I'm going to try to film in advance if I can, if my body allows me to. And I also, as I said, I just really want to watch more of the show, and I gotta wait till I can feel like recording. So yeah. Okay, enough talking. Checked in, talked about the show, talked about myself. So let's get into the reaction. So if you end up liking the reaction, I would really appreciate a like and a comment, because I have been trying to reply to everybody that I can, and I love hearing your thoughts. No spoilers, please. Not even things like, ooh, the next episode, because that can give some things away sometimes. I was also advised, last thing, that maybe for the characters I've met, I can look up their names, because what they mean, like the German translation to me, gives a little bit of a hint to their character in some way. So maybe I'll also add that to that lyric video, but we'll see. Maybe I'll just tag it on to the beginning of one of these. But anyway, enough talking. Let's get into the reaction. Oh. So we knew that she was going to grow up, because obviously here her hair got longer. We still haven't met this character. I just love the art style. I'm not a good dancer. I really want to see that. I really wish this last part had like a like that. 27 years after the death of Himmler here. Warm. Ooh, I like warmth. Got my notebook. Hello. I feel like I'm a black cat. I know a lot of people say that, but I'm very sassy. I'm very loyal.
他にフリーレン様は何を買うんですか？薬草とかだよ。
Is that...
何か隠している時の顔だ。こういう時はろくなことがな。
You sure?
買ってくるんだ。買っちゃった。この薬は服だけ溶かすんだよ。
I mean, maybe if your clothing gets caught on something?
もう。
Okay, I was gonna say that one's not too bad. I mean, there's uses for everything if you wait long enough, says the hoarder in me. Somebody told me to subtract 11 years off of the year it is to calculate Fern's age. So I'll have to see if that's accurate and keep that in mind. Oh, I like this music. Kind of sounds like we're being sneaky, which we are. It's like Pink Panther, not really, but... Aww. You gotta establish a good sleep routine. It's hard to do, I know, but it really helps. Ooh, jewelry. Pay attention. Meow. You're not looking at her. Okay. I keep forgetting that Fern ages. Obviously, we know that because of the changes. But it's so weird with Fern being who she is, that she doesn't age. Well, we don't know if Fern even likes sweets, so maybe it's not for her. You feel like an elf would be a little bit more aware of things. Koga? Why do they all have that expression? I mean, she's an elf. She can take care of herself. Unless desserts mean something else. Maybe not. That guy's like, what? Look at those colors. Kind of a nice room, I guess. Great view. There we go. Oh, well, she's going in any case. Really nice view. I would love that. Interesting wall up there. You can just say. Merkur pudding. Oh. Another connection to Himmel. He knows you well. That's a nice reframe. Rough omelets. Callback. Well, he's eating grapes right now. That's true too. I can't eat anything like that right now. Oh my gosh, looks so good. Well, it's the thought that counts, they say. Oh my gosh. She didn't... I think that would have helped her understand Friren's motivations earlier, maybe. Movements earlier. Cute.
あなたが私を知ろうとしてくれたことがたまらなく嬉しいのです。
I mean, that's more than some people.
フリーレン様は本当に人の感情が分かっていませんね。
Well, we're all not mind readers. I love the sea, or just water in general.
そろそろ出ようか。
Looks good. Zoned out to the music a little bit.
フリーレン様、この旅って何か目的はあるんですか？魔法収集の趣味の旅だからね。
It's about the journey.
風化する前にね。
Again, learning to honor people. Keep them in your memory. I know it might be...
しかしついに背も抜かされちゃったか。
Mm.
もう16ですからね。
Fern 16. Okay.
お姉さん。
Oh my gosh. They always do that in anime. Okay, so this is the next 27 still. Grove. Central Lands. I probably don't need to be taking notes for all this stuff, but I wish I remembered what I was saying. Ooh, okay. Ooh. There were gaps?
さて。
I mean, she has a lot of faith in Fern. That's good. Well, I did say I wanted to see more of their fighting.
今日はここまでだ
Looked
ね。
like it took it out of her a little bit.
広範囲の展開を続けたら数十秒で魔力切れになるよ。
Large area, okay.
この瞬間に部分的に展開させるのが正解というわけですね。
Does that mean it should be more like for big and then take it away? You know, not to constantly have it up when you don't need it? It's probably the smarter way to go about it, is my thought on the matter.
防御魔法一つでほとんどの攻撃魔法が防げますからね。渡した魔法師の本読んでないでしょ。魔法は実践だけが大事なわけじゃないんだよ。
I mean, it's important.
に読み聞かせてあげないとダメか。
It's like learning piano. Theory is not the fun side, but it's important.
また変な魔法の収集ですか？
Oh, is that another old person, or are they just sitting down?
もしやフリーレン様ですかな。クバールの封印場所ですよね。
I'm gonna guess older. They tend to walk like that.
腐敗の堅牢クバー
Qual.
を尽くした魔族です。
Kinda looks like a lizard.
その封印が近いうちに解けるから討伐しに来たんだけど。
ヒンメル様が毎年のようにフリーレン様のこともお話ししておりました。
村を見捨てるほど薄情ではない。
Just different priorities at that time. Efficient. Okay, a little bit less like a lizard now. Scary that
だいぶ不安定になっているね。
that can happen, but I guess that makes sense.
解いてクバールを片付けよう。単純にクバールが強かったからだよ。クバールは魔王軍の中でも屈指の魔法使いだ。貫通魔法、人類の防御魔法、
Ooh, that animation.
人体を直接破壊する魔法だ。
That's terrifying.
魔法使いに至っては7割が。
Wow. If he had a piercing spell, how did y'all deal with that?
あれですか。そう、強すぎた。
Also, that music before reminded me of Inuyasha.
強さがあだになった。
Oh.
ことですか。本当に魔法師読んでいないんだね。
Oh, so it's about them. I guess that makes more sense. You feel like Fern would be more interested in learning that then.
が大事だ。
Well, again, she only kind of likes magic. So I guess that kind of makes sense.
封印を解くよ。油断しないようにね。
I wonder why she has the red in her eyes, if it's just a artistic choice or her eyes are actually just like that. Are you not gonna tell Fern, like, the plan ahead of time? Since she didn't read the book? I mean, it's a really cool design.
殺した。
そうか。
Interesting that he's more powerful than the Demon King.
フェルン、前方に防御魔法。
ゾルトラーク。驚いた。ずいぶん。
Don't know why his black eye freaks me out.
フリーレン様。
Yeah.
人を殺す魔法だよ。
Was too complicated?
クバール、お前の魔法は強すぎたんだ。大陸中の魔法使いが。
Cool classroom setting.
トラークは人類の魔法体系に組み込まれ、防御術式による強力な防御魔法が
That's
開
really
発
cool.
された。
I'd love to know the science behind that.
装備による魔法耐性も格段に向上し、殺す魔法ではなくなった。
Wow.
なるほど。この消費もさぞ辛かる。
That's what we had said.
ヘルン、対処できるよね。はい。練習でもう
I'm happy we get to see this. Really cool. Ooh. But it's very precise what she's doing. Distraction.
ゾルトラーク。
Pretty simple. What was under them? Are they on like a cliff? Well, he got introduced and disappeared. In one episode. There we go. Maybe she's getting a little bit more attuned to it. More interested.
どっかで見覚えあるんだよね。お前、私のスカートめくったクソガキだな。
ぶっ殺してやる。僕だってまずいぞ。私の見せてあげますから。
Doesn't matter if you're a hero, I guess.
ヒンメル様の言葉を信じて待った甲斐があり。
I'm glad she could make sure that it was gone now. That Qual was gone.
ヒンメル様はフリーレン様を。
Yeah.
なのですか？別に。
Idyllic. And there we go. I really want to go back to see if I can remember. I can't fully remember the point I wanted to bring up, but we'll see if it comes to me while I talk. But yeah, so that was the third episode. Again, it's split a little oddly because of how it was going to originally be. Just one long thing altogether, but some thoughts on this one. So obviously the usual wonderful animation. Love the music as always. The main thing that I wrote down was just that it was a nice reframe of Himmel and it's kind of Fern just at the table before kind of saying, well, I guess I'm gonna have to make it easier in a way for you to get to know me, because it is also our responsibility to be open and to talk about ourselves and help people get to know us, because as I mentioned in the episode, people aren't mind readers, and I think people appreciate knowing things about you, knowing what you appreciate. That's why I try to tell people, oh, you know, I really appreciate that you did the dishes, or if it's a waiter, you know, thank you so much for that, you know, whatever it is, to show your appreciation, because even through that people can get to know you, because those give a little bit of insights into what you like, maybe what you don't, who you are, your values, things like that. So I think it's a really cool reframe because it's worth communicating, it's worth being open with others, and that's also a good sign of a healthy relationship, which I think free runs kind of come to know. So I really liked that. I think regarding being at the table, that it's nice that people even try in the first place to give gifts or anything, or like try to show their thoughtfulness in some way, even if they're off the mark. Some people don't even show effort in a lot of different ways, so I think that was just really nice as well. And it's showing that Free Run really appreciates Fern and is trying to show her that. Oh, I remembered birthday. See, by talking about stuff, we get it. So I was just going to kind of say that I think it's funny that Fern forgot that it was her birthday, because I've done that one year at least, and I think it's funny. And I think that also would have given Fern a little bit more insight into why Free Run might have been acting a little bit strange earlier. You know, sweets, birthdays, makes sense. But yeah, if you like the reaction, I have a full length up on Patreon. Also feel free, as I said, if you actually like the reaction, to give it a like. Feel free to comment. I will try to check out all of them that I can and reply if I can. And feel free to subscribe. I messed up saying that. Feel free to subscribe if you would like to just be notified when I post more videos. Why can't I talk right now? I don't know. I'm gonna be hopefully posting some movies at some point. Those will definitely start to be more consistent on Patreon because I can just post the full length. But editing them, I have no clue how long that's gonna take. I'm gonna give it my best shot. Hopefully one day I can hire an editor. And I'm also going to be linking a list in the description of the movies and TV shows and things that I've experienced, seen, read, whatever it is. Because sadly, I have seen a lot. I love movies and TV shows, but I've been trying to hold back on doing so. Just because I knew I wanted to do a reaction channel. So a lot of more modern stuff I haven't seen. I'd say if it was like 10 years ago and back for a little while, I had seen a fair bit of stuff from that time. But in the last 10 years, not as much stuff. So yeah, it's not an exhaustive list. I still have to add a lot to it, but as I go through or people recommend things, I'll post if I have seen it or not, or read it or whatever it is, played it, when I can get back into streaming. Hopefully once my gallbladder is out and I recover, hopefully that goes well, then I'm gonna be, filming more, I'll be streaming more, and hopefully, I can just live my life and make some more fun content for y'all, and we can interact more. So I think that'll be really nice. So as always, thank you so much for being here, wherever you are, whenever it is. I hope something good finds you today, and I will see you in the next video. So peace. Bye.